Hey everyone, it's T. Welcome back. As you may have guessed from the title, it's another holiday special. Yay! Hoot, 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 hoot. So, I wanted to do another special for Mother's Day. I want to try to do these every holiday. Well, not every holiday, but the biggies. I meant to do an Easter special, but I didn't get a chance to do that. So, sorry about that. So, I'm going to try to pick up the holiday specials, quote unquote, for today, which is Mother's Day. It's not Mother's Day when I'm recording this. It's a few days ahead, but when you're listening to it, it'll be Mother's Day. So, happy Mother's Day to any mothers out there. I know it can be kind of a hard holiday, at least for me it is. My mom passed away a few years ago, and it hasn't been an easy day. So I just kind of wanted to do something kind of light and fun in case anyone's going through kind of the same thing. Kind of have a nice distraction for at least 45 minutes. If it ends up a little short, I do apologize. We'll see what happens. So thanks for choosing to spend at least a little time with me. If you're having a hard day, I totally understand. Just know that there's someone out there that does understand what you're going through. And if your mom's around, give her a hug and a kiss and tell her that you love her. If you have a good relationship, of course. I know not everyone has a good relationship with their mom. Honestly, I wasn't able to fathom that, though, until after my mom passed away and I had interactions with other people and they were telling me about how they hadn't had the best experiences with their mothers, and I was kind of flabbergasted because my mom was great. She was a really nice lady, really kind. Let me pretty much do what I wanted to do with my life, at least creatively, like every kind of major decision I made, even if she didn't agree with it, she would accept it and support me. I really miss the lady, but I don't want to make this too sad and dwell on it. So let's just hang out and talk about some things. It's been a while since I've actually talked to you guys without it being in a podcast or a video or anything like that, anything personal. The last you heard was around February. I was finishing up all my college courses and things like that. I'm officially done my bachelor's in psychology, so that's exciting. I'm not sure what I want to do with the degree itself. There's not too much that you can do with a bachelor's in psychology, unfortunately. That's not kind of low level. And while that's fine, I kind of want to go a little higher with it. I wouldn't mind being like a behavioral assistant or anything like that. But I got my sights aimed a little higher. I want to get my PhD. I'm just looking into programs and things like that now. And I just kind of wanted to take a little time off anyway. Not that any of the programs that I've been looking at have open programs right now. But I just wanted to take a little bit of time off before I jumped into it. That's where I'm at now, looking into things. I still need to take the GRE. I have to look into that more. And I kind of have to figure out a way to get experience. Like I said, the other jobs that you can get with your bachelor's don't really pay that well. Maybe if I was like living someplace else and didn't kind of have the obligations that I had, I could take a pay cut. But I can't leave my current job really unless I find something that's comparable pay-wise. Nothing that I've seen yet is comparable pay-wise. So as much as I need the experience and would like to jump into the field, financially I can't do that yet. I'm just kind of looking to other ways that I could gain experience. I've been thinking about volunteering for certain mental health organizations, but the area where I live in, it's kind of few and far in between for opportunities without me having to travel a lot. And again, with my work schedule, I don't know exactly how to make that work, but I'm looking into it. I'll figure it out. I have some time. Like I said, I did want to take some time off after getting my bachelor's anyway. The time off has been pretty good. I've just been working. For the last few years, I've been working and going to school full-time both, and it's been bad. It's been really, really rough. Lots of sleepless nights, having to sometimes call out of work to catch up with school stuff, or sleeping and falling out from exhaustion sometimes. But I did manage to do it, and I'm really proud of that. And yeah, it's new and exciting, and yay! Other than that, not too much else has been happening on the personal front. I did get a Twitter at last. I'll put that in the description below. Let me get you guys the handle as well. Hold on. So the Twitter handle is at the @ Right Ones. WRITEONES. And that me on Twitter now. I don't really tweet too much. I try to keep doing updates on any recordings or anything like that. Editing sneak peeks, trying to do that there. And then I also occasionally will live tweet shows. I've been live tweeting RuPaul's Drag Race every Thursday when I have the chance to catch it all. Speaking of Drag Race, does anyone else watch it? What are you thinking of this season? I don't want to give, too many spoilers as to who has gone home and stuff like that. I guess I'll just try to keep my opinions vague-ish. I think it's better than season 10. I'm liking it a little bit better than the last All-Stars. I don't know, just Drag Race has kind of gone down in the last few years. To me, it's become a lot less enjoyable than when I originally started watching it around season 2 or 3. I think I started watching it around there. I think I started watching when Raja got crowned. I think I did watch season 2 though. I've seen all the seasons, of course, but I officially became a fan around season 2 to 3, around there. I don't know. It's been a lot less enjoyable as the years have gone by. I don't agree with a lot of the challenges. Well, I get that America's Next Drag Superstar has to be versatile and have all these great abilities. Some queens, we can't see their full potential because they're kind of put in things that aren't exactly their element. It's good to go outside of your element. And like I said, the Next Drag Superstar has to be versatile and good at acting and things like that. But let's be real. Does every drag queen need to know how to sing? Does every queen need like a song on iTunes? I think not. Dancing, lip syncing, taking photos, of course. I mean, some girls are better at it than others. So I feel like kind of some of the singing challenges don't really feel fair. Some of the ones with intense choreography also kind of doesn't feel fair sometimes, because not every girl is a good dancer. Not every girl is doing flips and tricks and jumping all over the place. I wish you guys could see my movements, because I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I don't think some of the singing challenges are fair. Some of the acting challenges, I guess you could argue for or against. I'm usually not too big of a fan of them, because they're usually flops. But that and the writing, lyrics and stuff like that, I could go without those challenges either. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like those things make it less enjoyable, but I get it. So, some of the sewing ones too, because now I know some people will say, well, it's a good skill to know. And I agree it is a good skill to know. But when you're a performer, sometimes it's not necessary for you to know how to do those things. Like with cosplayers, I don't think there should be kind of discrimination or side eyes towards cosplayers that don't make their own costumes. Sometimes that's just not for you, You may know how to sew, but you don't know how to sew well. Or you were taught how to sew, but you're not good at it all. Or you just never had the opportunity to learn. And I know they recommend every time you come on Drag Race that you should learn how to sew and have a Snatch Game character. And I understand it's Rue's show, but I kind of feel like those challenges are a little unfair. But back to my thoughts on season 11. It's one of the more enjoyable seasons in recent years, at least to me. I feel like some queens have gotten robbed out of things. There was one particular lip sync that I felt was a robbery. And then there was a few challenges where I felt like queens were robbed. One challenge, I wholeheartedly believe either Nina or Suga should have won the challenge, but they did not. Sometimes I really question what's going through Rue's head, but it's her show. She can kind of do what she wants, but sometimes I'm like, really? Did you just do that? Did we watch the same thing? It is one of the more enjoyable seasons. I would say my favorite queens on this season are A'keria, Yvie, Vanjie, Nina, Suga, and Brooklyn. Those are my gals. If any of those win, I would be happy. We are down to the last 6 queens, and I'm interested to see what happens next. I'm really rooting for Yvie. I really like her. I think if her, A'keria, and Nina made it to the top, that's my ideal top 3. But now that I put that in the universe, they're not gonna. That always happens, like, every time I'm, like, openly supporting a queen, they never ever win. We'll see what happens soon. We've got, well, if they don't bring a queen back, there'll be, like, what, maybe 5 more episodes at most, so I guess we'll see. And then we'll have All Stars 5. I hear that's gearing up soon, which I kind of think is too soon. They're just churning out these seasons of Drag Race. It's just whoosh, 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 whoosh. Popping them out like babies, you know? Hopefully, we'll get some time in between season 5 of All Stars and then season 12. Hopefully, they'll start spacing them out a little bit better, because I kind of have fatigue. There hasn't been much downtime for Drag Race, so I kind of hope that it slows down a little, gives everyone a little bit more time to breathe and get excited for it. I'm also really excited for Dragula Season 3. I heard that they just wrapped filming on that, and I'm super excited for that. I love the Boulet brothers. I think they're great. I immensely enjoyed the first 2 seasons of Dragula. The second season had a little bit more drama. Well, a lot more drama. It was a little bit more messy, but it's a great show. I think it's a great alternative to Drag Race. I enjoyed seeing kind of the more diverse styles. There's definitely sort of a Drag Race girl, and I feel like there are a few queens that kind of straddle the line between the type of drag that we see on Drag Race and the type of drag that we see on Dragula. Dragula, we see more monster drag, horror drag, more unique drag. Not to say that the girls on Drag Race don't have unique drag, but I would say the drag that we see on Dragula is a little bit more out the box than what we see on Drag Race. Even though there's some queens that kind of hurdle the line, I would say, well, Alaska, she's made guest appearances on Dragula, so obviously her. Queens like Sharon Needles, Yvie, they kind of have that crossover appeal where if they didn't get onto Drag Race, I could see them being on Dragula. Think of like kind of drag like that. Some of my favorite queens that I've seen from Dragula would be Vander. I really like Erica Clash, James Majesty, and Disasterina. Just to name a few, those are some of my favorite queens that have come out of Dragula, and I really like it. It's innovative and fresh, and I can't wait to see season 3. There hasn't been an official cast announcing, I don't think. I did see a video that Jake Yancey did on it, announcing some of the queens, but I don't think there's anything official that came out, unless I misunderstood the video. That's exciting. I'll link the video in the description below. But the drag performers that he mentioned seem really interesting, and it seems like it'll be a good season if everything is true there. The other thing I finished watching was American Gods. That was really interesting. Well, yeah, it was pretty interesting, season 2. But the finale kind of disappointed me a little. We still don't have a lot of answers. We have pretty much more questions than we do answers. We have some answers, but I feel like not the answers that anyone wanted. So I am going to pick up the book, but I kind of have a backlog of books that I need to read. And I'll be doing some book reviews and stuff like that too once I get to going with reading the things. I will say that the episode before the season finale was amazing. It was well acted. The cinematography was great. And I would even argue that the cinematography in the season finale was good too. It was really artsy and experimental and things like that. And I think that's kind of why I was like a little about it, because I felt like it was kind of the wrong episode to do the experimentation stuff. Been better if we just had the answers that we were looking for, or this impending war to like continue, or at least the battle to begin. Now it's kind of like the last 2 seasons have kind of been a game of chess. The first season, Mr. Wednesday got a check. Now Mr. World has a check at the end of it. So we're kind of at a stalemate here. Mr. World did up the ante, and we'll see what happens. And I just want to say that, like, Mr. World, Crispin Glover, oh my goodness, he is amazing in this role. Every time Mr. World comes on, I get the fucking shivers. The way he talks, his presence, just fucking amazing. Just even though doesn't get a hell of a lot of screen time, for the screen time that he does get, boy, I get the shivers. We did get a few new characters, some elaborations on them, some more screen time for them. Like Bilquist, we got to see a little bit more of her. We got new media, of course. I'm not a fan of new media. I just don't like the characterization. It feels very, hello, fellow kids. I'm not super jazzed about new media. Maybe they'll kill her off again, who knows? We'll see. But I am very much looking forward to season 3. Maybe we can finally get some answers, and I'm gonna read the book so I can have all the answers, because it's been killing me. I finally did get to read some things at long last. I've gotten through Junji Ito's Frankenstein. I haven't read the original Frankenstein, so I've been kind of debating if I want to do a review on it or not, because I never read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, so I don't know, since it's like a derivative work, if it would be a good idea to review it, since I never read the original. Not really interested in reading the original, to be honest. I feel like I probably could get more out of it, though, because it would probably have more introspection in regards to the characters and what they're thinking and feeling, a little bit more insight into their motives. But even then, I'm kind of like meh on it. I enjoyed the artwork and things like that, and I think he probably did cut it down a lot, just because, like I said, there's probably a lot of introspection and insight for the characters in the original written novel, but just kind of not my thing. Not really super into monster movies or anything like that. I enjoy a good zombie movie from time to time, but not really. Vampires are okay, werewolves, things like that. But like legitimate monsters, kind of meh on them. I don't know if I should do a book review, considering I haven't read the original. Let me know if you guys would want me to do a review on it, on Junji Ito's version of Frankenstein. There's also the stories for the Odd World of Oshikiri in there as well, so I could mention those if you wanted. Let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in, without me kind of doing a comparison to the original work. If you guys wanted, I could do it. I just didn't know if anyone would be interested in that, considering I never read the original book. And I did get his new collection, Junji Ito's new collection, Smashed. I haven't gotten through all of it yet. I just got through like the first story, and it freaked me out. I felt like a big baby. The first story like really freaked me out and threw me for a loop. And then I tried to like read the second story, but then one of the illustrations freaked me out as well. And that night I was just like, okay, I'm done with this. I put it down, and I haven't picked it up since. Maybe I'll pick it up later tonight. I also have gotten Iceberg Slim's book Pimp. My boyfriend read through that. I want to read through it because Dave Chappelle had mentioned it on one of his newer Netflix comedy specials, and I do want to check that out. And that's also on the list. I have Battle Royale there that I want to read as well. If any of you are familiar with the Japanese movie, basically a bunch of kids get put on an island and they have to kill each other. So that's what that's about. I got the book a while ago, but I never had a chance to read it. And so that's still kind of sitting around for me. And then I got a book from a while ago that we read in our victimology class called The Gift of Fear. I really liked it when we were doing the coursework for my victimology class, but I didn't get a chance to read through it all. So I got my own personal copy, and I kind of want to read through that as well. Let me know if you guys would be interested in any kind of reviews for those books. I'd be more than happy to do that. I'm definitely going to do a review for Smashed and American Gods when I'm done. I'm either going to do a solo book review, or I'm going to do it in conjunction with comparing it and contrasting it to the TV show. And then the other hot thing that came out was Avengers Endgame. I saw that. It was sad. I cried like a little baby. Worse than Logan. For y'all who remember my Logan story, when I was crying my little eyes out, I was crying it for Endgame. I thought it was really good. I am going to do a Binner recommend on it, but just to kind of give you some thoughts on it. I thought it was really good, but I didn't think it was as good as Infinity War. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I felt like the plot in Infinity War was a little bit more cohesive than it was with Endgame, and there were some elements that I would have liked them to explore more, but I get why they didn't. It was already like a 3-hour movie, but I wouldn't have minded if they made it a little longer so we could see a little bit more into certain aspects. But I did think that it was a great end to all the 11 years of movies we've had. It's been a wild ride. A lot of the endings for the characters was fitting, satisfactory as well. There are some things that are going to be controversial in the next phase of the cinematic universe if things go a certain route, but I'm here for it. I'm interested to see what's going to happen next. The trailer for the Spider-Man Far From Home movie, I think it's a good stepping stone into kind of the next phase here for Marvel. That's about it, movie and book-wise. Music-wise, Rammstein released 2 new songs. They're going to release an album on the 17th, and I'm really excited for that since it's been super, super long since we had new Rammstein. I'm a big fan. I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be getting the CD that day, hopefully. Like I said, I'm really pumped and jazzed for that since we haven't had new music. One of their side projects, Emigrate, it's Richard Rusby's side project. They released a new album a little bit ago called A Million Degrees. I haven't listened to it yet, but I do intend to. It looks like they released it last year. I had absolutely no idea about that. The plan, and it's somewhat of an ambitious plan, is I want to kind of rank and review all of their albums as well as the side projects. We have Emigrate, and then Till, the lead singer, he also has a side project as well. His side project is Lindemann. Skills and Pills came out 2015. They released a new song in December of last year. I think it's called Mathematic. And boy, that was a controversial song. It's kind of a rap song, and it's kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of bad. But it's really catchy. Like, when I first listened to it, I was like, this song is hot garbage. Like, this is not good. But then, by the end of it, I was bopping to it. I do like to listen to it from time to time. So, it grew on me. Like I said, I do want to listen to all of their albums and do a review and ranking of all of them. I know that's not going to get done by the 17th. And I'll split it into 2 if I do decide to do it. So it'll be all of Rammstein and then all of their side projects. But I think it may be a little easier than done because some of the earlier albums are really hard to find. I have never seen some of their earlier albums out in the wild. I have never seen Out in the Wild. I'm sorry, my German's really bad, so forgive me if I butcher these. Herselid from 95. I've never seen that out in the wild. And I never seen Sehnsucht. I know I'm butchering these. I'm sorry. My speaking German isn't that great, but I can read it okay and I can understand it okay. Just me speaking it is terrible, so I do apologize. I have seen Mutter out in the wild. Rise, Rise, Rosenrot. I've seen those out in the wild. And I have those in the Greatest Hits album. And I also have the first two of Emigrate's album. I have Skills and Pills from Till's side project as well. But like I said, I've never seen the first two albums out in the wild ever. Maybe I can find those on Amazon or something. I prefer to have hard copies of things. I do have digital copies of most of the albums now. I have digital copies because I can't find the CDs that I had, but I do prefer to have actual CDs. I'm weird like that. I would just prefer to have physical copies of everything. I don't know how I'll finagle that. Maybe I can find the album somewhere, because I've never seen them in the wild. Maybe I can find them on Amazon or something like that. Get them and have a listen, and then do the review. It looks like I'm also missing an album from 2009. This one I know I'll pronounce okay. You ready? Liebe ist für alle da. I feel like I'm doing so bad. I'm so sorry. I don't speak German a lot, so it's really bad. I did study it a little bit in high school, and I've been trying to pick it up with Duolingo again. Like I said, I'm super shitty at speaking it, but if you got me to write something down, or if you spoke to me a little slowly, I'm still at kind of a beginner level, but I could kind of get the gist if you talk to me slowly or if you let me write something down. I'd be your girl, but speaking it, I'm shit, and I'm so fucking sorry. But yeah, it looks like I'm missing that one as well. It looks like I kind of have my work cut out for me. Let me know if you would be interested in that. Because, if you guys are interested in that, I could do that for a few other bands as well. Let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. I was planning on doing it anyway, but the added interest would kind of put a fire under me to get it done a little faster. So let me know if you guys would want things like that in the future. The last thing I'll talk about is I saw Paprika for the first time the other day by Satoshi Kon. Great. It's really good. I really liked it. It is a heavy visual based movie, so I would say to watch the dub over the sub. The dub is really good, and you'll catch all the visuals and things like that. You won't be missing out. Because it's such a visual-heavy movie, it's best to listen to it in English. Or if you understand Japanese, you can go ahead and listen to it in Japanese. But since it's so heavy with the visuals, I would definitely check it out in English. The only movie of Satoshi Kon's that I haven't seen yet is Tokyo Godfathers. I don't even know where I would find that. But I would really be interested in seeing it because I really liked Paprika. I really liked Perfect Blue. So I'd be interested in seeing that film as well. Anything this man touches or touched, because he passed away unfortunately, is really good. So I've appreciated his work and his vision, and hopefully I can find Tokyo Godfathers and check that out, because Paprika was really good. Like I said, it is a really visual heavy movie, kind of like Mind Game. If you've seen that, that's something else that I would also recommend. I did watch that subbed. I don't know how the dub is. I thought that was also a really good movie. Alright guys, I have to head out soon, so I will end this here. Thank you so much for watching and spending this Mother's Day with me. If you're having a bad day, I just want you to know that I'm here for you. I support you, and while I would like to say that things will get easier with time, that may or may not be true for you. Time does help. It does make things better, but if you're feeling some type of way about today because you've lost your mom or you've had a bad relationship with your mom, though that hole still may always be there for you. I think it will always be there for me, but time definitely will help, but it may not heal the hole. Just so you know, there is someone out there that understands what you're going through and feels for you. I really do. I know today can be rough, and hopefully this made things a little bit better for you and brightened up your day. For any mothers out there, I hope you are having a happy Mother's Day and you feel loved. I will see you guys next week. The podcast should be up and running by then. I recorded it a while ago, and some of the information I gave isn't right, but I'll address that before the episode comes up. I'll put like a little note from the future to kind of retcon some of the things that I said. But anyway, that'll be up for you next week. Again, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.